Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This video is part of my series on the individual tribes of Werewolf the Apocalypse. I will be going into each tribe covering the same basic details, their history and mythology, their biases, strengths, weaknesses, and a bit of information about their camps, their sub-organizations within the tribes. Now, this is going to be a bit of a boilerplate for all of these, so I don't have to redo a video every single one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we talk about this tribe. Bullies, braggarts, violent sociopaths. These are all terms the other tribes of Garou have used to describe the Get of Fenris. There is a degree of truth to these, but only a degree. You see, the Get of Fenris have a single unifying philosophy throughout their tribe. This philosophy is that the Get of Fenris are the strongest Garou. Spiritually strong, physically strong, intellectually strong, discernment strong, whatever. They are the strongest Garou. And they have to prove this. I have to prove this to the other tribes because, of course, the other tribes don't believe this. But at the same time, they have to continually be pushing themselves because to accept that you can't get stronger, to accept that there is nothing more that you can do to improve yourself, is weakness. Because it's a fear of failure. Because when you try something new, there's a chance you could fail. And Get of Fenris don't have fear. Well, okay, actually they do. They just don't admit to it. Get of Fenris will fight overwhelming odds because he doesn't believe that they're overwhelming. He believes that because he's the strongest wolf Garou there, that nothing can stop him. And that is why many Get of Fenris die young. But that is also why you see these depictions of the Get as bullies. Because what will happen is, among the Get of Fenris, poking each other to get someone to lash out, that's friendly dribbling. That's how they do things amongst each other. And if someone doesn't, they just poke more. Poke more. Trying to get them to, show some backbone. And then you have the Get of Fenris interacting with other tribes. The Children of Gaia are well known for their embrace of the idea of peace. And a Get of Fenris will love to poke at a child of Gaia. They're not doing it out of ill intent. They really aren't. They're trying to get this pacifist this, to them, weak thing to turn around and belt them. And that's the thing. That is literally all a child of Gaia ever really should have to do when a Get of Fenris is poking and prodding and bullying them. Is to turn around and deck the Get. It's a weird form of affection for the Get of Fenris. Because, like I said, this is how they treat each other. I mean, there is a story of a Get of Fenris who thought he was weak, went on an umbral journey with major tests, confronted Great Fenris himself, and it was basically chewed out, literally. Great Fenris kind of ripped his heart out and made him eat it, to find out that no, there was no weakness. It was just his own doubt was his weakness. And then, when he comes back to his cairn, tells his Jarl what happened. Jarl takes it. He tells his packmates what happened, and they beat him. And he laughs the whole time, but his packmates soundly beat him for thinking he was weak. And they're all good. Because that's how the Get of Fenris are. And, it doesn't matter whether you're a Radagara, their term for Ragabash, who uses deception and stealth. It doesn't matter whether you're a Godi, their term for the Theurges, who summon up spirits. Or a Modi, the term for a rune. To the Get, every Get is strong. They're all strong in their own way. And the Get take this philosophy when they're dealing with and interacting with the other tribes. And in many cases, the Get don't understand the strength of the other tribes. The Get sees the child of Gaia taking that ribbing and shrugging it off as, oh, they're a coward. They're afraid they might get hurt. While the child of Gaia is going, I don't want to hurt him. He's another Guru. That would weaken Gaia. If I hurt him, that would weaken the defenses of the cairn, of the sept, and that would hurt Gaia. No, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take this. The Fenrir have this weird way of seeing the world. A Fenrir will not back down from a fight. Because there's no such thing as overwhelming odds. A Fenrir will gladly stand by himself and face a pack of black spiral dancers by himself because he's absolutely convinced he can win. Because to admit otherwise would be to say, they're stronger than me. Or it would be to admit fear. Yet if Fenris don't feel fear, that they will admit to. And that is where we come with the Fenrir. I mean, they do have a number of their own camps, but really, those different camps are all just different views of strength, different views of how to apply it, with two notable exceptions. The Valkyries, which is an all-female camp, and they basically have this notion in their heads that the Fenris have chauvinistic tendencies. Well, kind of. It's more the Fenris as a tribe do not recognize differences in other Guru. You know, man, woman, Metis, Lupus, Hamid, doesn't matter. And the Valkyries were kind of a reaction to when the Fenrir started interacting with other tribes and the more modern world. And their big thing is they want the Fenrir to just outright state, nope, there's no difference. And they also kind of want greater representation in the positions of leadership among the Fenrir. Again, it's a complicated thing because the Fenrir leadership positions are determined one way. You beat the person who's got that position up and prove you're stronger than them. So it's tricky. The other camp that has a special place in the Fenrir hearts is one that the Fenrir have personally tried to eradicate. They keep hush-hush about. This camp is the Swords of Heimdall. This is a camp of neo-Nazis, skinheads, white supremacists, whatever you want to call it. The Fenris have tried to kill every single member of this camp multiple times. But like Ratkin, you think you got them all, and they keep coming back. Of course, this might be because maybe the Fenrir let some escape? Because, you're fighting other Fenrir. What better way to make yourself stronger than to fight other foes who are just as strong as you? But, officially, the Fenrir are trying to eradicate all of them. Of course, in addition to those two camps with their own issues, the Fenris have been dealing with a single threat themselves for a very long time. a occult group of people who do unspeakable things to children, called the Ninth Generation. The Fenris have been on a crusade against this group for a very long time. And in fact, nothing will get whole seps worth of Fenris to come to your town quite as fast as letting it be found out that there's a cell of the Ninth Generation there. They hate these people because they're preying on something so weak. They're preying on children. It is like the absolute inversion of the Fenrir philosophy to be preying on something so much weaker than you. They can't let any group like that stand. But that is the Fenrir. They have their own way of doing things. It's not always a way that works well with others. Though, of all the tribes, they are probably one of the ones that treat their metis the best. Not because they specifically treat their metis good. It's that they don't treat their metis any different than they treat anyone else. That means those metis have to keep up with the get. The non-metis get. They've got to be able to keep up with them. Be just as strong, just as tough. But they don't have any obstacles set in their way like other tribes might do. They're not automatically treated like scum. They're not automatically judged for their parents' sin against Gaia. They are treated as, yep, you're a Fenrir. You get to prove yourself just like any other Fenrir. If your disabilities, your disfigurements just happen to get you killed, well, I guess you weren't strong enough. Just like if a Hamid Fenrir gets killed, oh well, I guess you weren't strong enough. That's how the Fenrir look at things. It's not always the nicest way, but it is their way. Oh, and one big thing that the Fenrir really hate is to be called Odin worshippers or, any sort of that Asurist philosophies. They are not. Odin was a vampire. They call him Wotan. And he caused the destruction of their greatest sept and cairn. And they hate him for it. They hate all vampires for it, especially. And so, yeah. Don't call Fenrir Odin worshippers, or make jokes about Odin or Thor or any of that around them, it would not go well. But this concludes the first of my videos on the tribes. I look forward to seeing you with my next tribe video. So until then, or my regularly scheduled video, just remember, have fun and keep gaming. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.